AEW Rampage Grand Slam was an action-packed 2 hours of wrestling, main evented by a lights-out match. The show delivered and featured a TNA legend making his AEW debut. We also saw a bunch of stellar matches, including CM Punk taking on Powerhouse Hobbs, Minoru Suzuki in action. It was basically all happening. Let's get straight into it with CM Punk versus Powerhouse Hobbs. Will Hobbs has a clear strength advantage in this one, and CM Punk had a game plan for trying with low kicks. Hobbs was all over Punk in the early stages of the match. We saw Hobbs bounce off the ropes before he continued to punish Punk during the outbreak, clubbing him down with some big hits. Punk briefly fought back with a series of black elbows before taking down Hobbs. Punk then hit a neck breaker and headed up to the top rope for a flying elbow, but Hobbs kicked out at 2. Hobbs was looking for the town business, but Punk cancelled and locked in a bear hug. Punk then hit Hobbs with a Hurricane Rana. The Second City Saviour then locked in a triangle lock before Hooks tried to distract CM Punk from ringside, but Hobbs ended up taking him out. Punk hit the GTS for the win. 8 out of 10. It's just so great to see Punk back in action. And a really solid match as well. Yeah, just love to see it. Next up was Adam Cole and the Young Bucks versus Luchasaurus, Jungle Boy and Christian. Christian and Matt Jackson starts things off before Christian caught Matt with a right hook early on. Matt briefly took control before charging at Christian in the corner before the world champ of Impact quickly tagged out. Jungle Boy took both members down with a double arm drag before chasing Adam Cole to ringside. In the ring, Adam Cole had Jungle Boy in a recliner as the Bucks hit him with a simultaneous dropkick. Back from the act breaks, Luchasaurus tagged in and was well over both members of the Young Bucks. However, he avoided a double dropkick and took out the Young Bucks. Things broke down for a bit, and at that point we saw the referee lose control. We saw some incredible action from Jungle Boy as he hit one of the Young Boys with a Hurricane Rana. Cole and Luchasaurus took each other out with simultaneous pump kicks before Jungle Boy hit a dive on the ramp, but Nick Jackson got back in control and tagged out to Adam Cole, who was all over Luchasaurus, hitting him with Panama Sunrise. The Bucks then hit a BTE trigger to pick up the win. Yeah, I'm giving this 7 out of 10. This was a fun little match. Great to see Cole in an AEW ring. And yeah, Jungle Boy really shined. On the whole, this is a massive thumbs up. Next up was Men of the Year versus Chris Jericho and Jake Hager. Jericho and Hager started the match strong before the Men of the Year got in control over the break. They had Jericho reading in the corner. Back from another break, Page took Jake Hager down at ringside and Page quickly tagged back in and before Jericho took him out. He then turned his attention to Sky looking for a line fault before Hager tagged in, hitting Scorpio Sky with a Hager bomb. Dan Lambert then got on the apron and distracted him before Hager followed it up with a body slam, and Hager went to bounce off the rope before Dan Lambert caught his foot, giving Scorpio Sky the chance to roll him up and get in the win. I did not see this coming, but yeah, it's a big run for Men of the Year, and that's going to be a good thing, so I'll give it a 6 out of 10. After the match, Jericho and Hager went after Lambert, before American top team surrounded them. The UFC stars destroyed Hager and Jericho, and we saw body shots from Jericho from Page Van Zandt and took Jericho out with a running knee. So yeah, good to see these people getting AEW more. Wouldn't be opposed to seeing them in a match one day. Next up was the Lucha Bros, Santana and Ortiz versus Private Party and the Butcher and the Blade. The ref had a tough time getting this match under control in the early stages as Private Party took out Ortiz. Matt Hardy had scissors out of ringside and went to cut Ortiz's hair before Cassidy made the save, leaving Jack Evans laying as he went to a break. Back from the break, Santana and Ortiz were all over the Blade. Mark Quinn came in and took Ortiz out before Penta wiped out Quinn with a backbreaker. The Butcher then came in and hit a crossbody before Santana and Ortiz then hit Quinn with the street sweeper, and that was enough to put him away. Hardy was backstage with Tony Schiavone. He was wearing Orange Cassidy for sticking his nose where it didn't belong. Matt Hardy then volunteered Jack Evans for a heavy hair match. Not what I was expecting, but the match was fun, and I'm sure this will lead somewhere else. 7 out of 10. Before we got Anna Jay versus Penelope Ford. Not before Sammy Guevara and Fuego del Sol were assaulted before Miro. Miro locked in a game over on Guevara. Kind of what I expected. Before we got Anna Jay versus Penelope Ford. It was all Jay early on before the punny came down and made a distraction. But we saw Jay locking a Queen Slayer. The bunny distracted the ref before Ford used Knuckles to hit Anna Jay with a knockout strike to pick up the win. 6 out of 10. Yeah, kind of just felt there, to be honest. Wasn't a major part of the match. Tay Conti tried to come out after the match to save, but Ford took her out with the brass knuckles. The HFO came out after the match, but the Dark Order members were out to make the save. And then it was Eddie Kingston and John Moxley versus Minoru Suzuki and Lance Archer. Suzuki and Archer didn't waste any time attacking Moxley and Kingston on the entrance ramp before Suzuki immediately grabbed a couple of chairs and went after Moxley. Eddie set up a table in the corner and went to toss Suzuki through it. Suzuki blocked Kingston's attempts and booted him through the table. Lance Archer laid out several attendants at ringside before chokeslamming Moxley through them. Archer then brought out a leather strap before we returned from a commercial from Moxley to see his hands duct tape. Suzuki ended up biting Moxley's head as Archer smashed him across the legs through the kendo stick. Moxley briefly fought back with headbutts to Suzuki, but it was Kingston who came in and turned the tide. Suzuki then had chairs in the ring and Archer was about to send Kingston through when Homicide's music hit. Moxley suckered Suzuki and hit him with a paradigm shift before Kingston then smashed Archer with a trash can before following up with repeated strikes, and Archer picked up the win. I'm going to give this 7 out of 10. This was really fun. Just pure chaos. In fact, no, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 because of Homicide's role, just blindsiding Suzuki and Archer. That just ups the grade for me. It was just such good fun. Big men just crapping the crap out of each other. Sometimes it's what you want to see on a Friday night. This was great. 8 out of 10. Overall this week, Rampage gets a 7 out of 10 from me. Really enjoyed this episode of Rampage. I would say it's best for a long while. Obviously, we knew it would be with some of the shows on there. But this was really fun. From start to finish, lots going on, great matches. Just a positive end to AEW's Grand Slam week, really. But anyway, guys, that's it for the video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts, comments down below. Follow me on Twitter, think and scripts made for daily wrestling news. And subscribe to my channel and screen right now. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.